The ship that refused to die. The HDS Valiant drifted through the ruins of what was once the Arian Nebula, now nothing more than a graveyard of shattered metal and dying stars. Flames flickered from her cracked hull. Oxygen vented into the void in shimmering blue clouds. Hull plating hung loose like torn skin. The once mighty human destroyer was broken, bleeding, silent, and alone. But not dead. Deep inside the ruined bridge, Captain Rhea Solheim gripped the railing. Her fingers streaked with soot and dried blood. She had fought for 30 hours straight, the last surviving officer on board. Every screen flickered, every console sparked, but she refused to abandon her station. Humanity didn't build her for surrender. A low mechanical groan vibrated across the broken ship. The Valiant's AI flickered to life in brief, glitching pulses. "See, Captain?" Hull integrity at 13%. "I know," Rhea murmured, wiping ash from her face. "Stay with me, Valiant." In front of her, the holo display struggled to form shape. Red lights, enemy. Signatures approached in perfect formation. Dozens, hundreds, an entire Deltrax. Imperial hunting pack, drawn to the Valiant's dying beacon like predators smelling blood. Rhea exhaled slowly. "So they finally found me." The Deltrax Empire had been at war with humanity for decades. They were patient, cold. Insectoid strategists who studied their enemy before striking. To them, humans were emotional, chaotic, and weak. But Rhea had survived long enough to see the truth. Humans didn't win because they were perfect. Humans won because they refused to break. The incoming transmission alarm blared. A towering insectoid hologram materialized. Delicate black armor. Glowing red mandibles, eyes like burning coals. A Deltrax war commander. "Human vessel," it hissed. "You are the final destroyer of your species. The Outer Rim fleet has been annihilated. Earth's colonies have fallen. Power down and surrender your ship. Surrender your life. Resistance has no purpose." Rhea forced a tired smile. "You've never met a human, have you?" The hologram clicked its mandibles in amusement. "We have studied your kind thoroughly. You fight even when logic says you have lost. It is why your species will not survive the cycle." Rhea's jaw tightened. "Funny, that's exactly why we will." She cut the transmission. The Valiant trembled as another subsystem failed. Sparks showered the bridge. Rhea felt the ship's pain like it was her own. She had fought with this vessel for 7 years. Explorations, wars, rescues, tragedies. The Valiant was not just a machine. She was a companion, a survivor, a symbol of humanity's refusal to bow. The AI flickered again, weaker. "Captain? Enemy? Fleet will arrive in 6 minutes?" Rhea looked at the tactical display, her eyes narrowing with new fire. "Then we still have time." She opened a secured panel on the command chair. Inside rested a key, glowing faintly blue, the most dangerous technology humanity ever created. A last resort weapon, the Nova Lance. Her fingers closed around it. Inside the broken ship, the air seemed to tremble. "Valiant," she whispered. "We're going to show them what a dying human can do." The AI responded in a faint, fragile voice. "Captain, I'm with you. Until the end." Rhea smiled. "Good. Then let's make this a story the galaxy will never forget." The Siege of the Crimson Line. Cade Draven stood alone on the bridge of the human destroyer Valkyrian, the last warship humanity had ever built, and the only one still breathing fire. Outside the viewport, the Crimson Line shimmered, a ring of fortified asteroids marking the final defensive border before the alien Empire's inner territories. If he crossed it, there was no turning back. "Admiral, enemy signatures incoming," the ship's AI, Lyra, announced. Her voice was calm, too calm, as if she didn't see the 1,000 glowing red pings flooding the tactical map. Cade tightened his gauntlets. "Let them come." The Valkyrian rumbled as its antimatter cannons charged, bathing the bridge in ultraviolet light. The alien fleet sleek, silver blades belonging to the Zir. Dominion, closed in formation. They didn't fear him. They should have. "Lyra, prioritize the dreadnoughts," Cade ordered. "Already targeting, Admiral." The first antimatter blast crossed the darkness like a violet comet. It carved through a Zir vessel, splitting it open as though peeling apart a fruit. Cade didn't celebrate. The Exire were relentless, multiplying like a hive. For every ship he destroyed, 2 more replaced it. A voice crackled through the comms. "Human destroyer Valkyrian, you are surrounded. Surrender, and your end will be painless. Cade laughed. Thanks for the offer, but I prefer the noisy exits. He cut the channel. The Exir responded with a storm of plasma lances. The ship shuddered violently. Sparks rained around the bridge. Lyra flickered but stabilized. Shields down to 60%, she reported. Cade's jaw clenched. He pushed the Valkyrian forward, engines roaring like an ancient beast. The destroyer punched through the first wave, sideswiping alien fighters and unleashing a salvo of micromissiles. Explosions blossomed in the void like dying stars. But then the dreadnought appeared. A colossal shadow eclipsed the battlefield. The Exir Emperor's flagship, the Crown of Oblivion, drifted into firing range. Its hull pulsed with organic armor, alive and hungry. Cade whispered, "So the king finally steps onto the board." The Crown of Oblivion released a planet-cracking beam. Cade barely rolled Valkyrian aside, the blast shearing an entire asteroid in half behind him. Debris ricocheted off his shields. "Lyra," he said, "prepare the Starbreaker drive." "That weapon will tear the ship apart," Lyra warned. "It'll tear them." As the Starbreaker spun up, gravitational waves distorted space around the destroyer. Even the Exir ships hesitated, like prey sensing a predator's true teeth. Cade locked eyes with the massive flagship. "You wanted the last human destroyer," he murmured. "Come and take it." The Valkyrian dove straight toward the dreadnought, antimatter cannons blazing. Plasma storms, missile trails, and gravitational ripples collided in the void. The battle turned into a cosmic inferno, one man against an empire. Cade gripped the controls as the dreadnought filled the viewport, its alien lights burning red. "Almost in range," Lyra said. Cade whispered the words that would ignite a war across the stars. "Fire. The weapon that should not exist." The moment Cade Draven gave the order, the universe seemed to stop breathing. The Starbreaker drive ignited. A sphere of collapsing gravity formed around the Valkyrian, warping starlight, twisting debris into spirals, and pulling enemy ships toward its growing singularity, the alien dreadnought. The Crown of Oblivion shuddered as its organic hull writhed against the invisible force. Gravitational field rising. Beyond predicted levels, Lyra warned. Cade held his stance. "Hold the charge." The Exir fleet opened fire all at once. Their plasma, rail rounds, and arc lances bent mid-flight, curving unnaturally into the forming singularity. It devoured everything, light, metal, screams. The battlefield became a tornado of collapsing space. "We're at critical threshold," Lyra said. "Firing now will destroy us." Cade exhaled slowly. "Humanity didn't die quietly. Neither will I." He slammed the firing control. A beam of pure gravitational rupture, impossible, unnatural, erupted from the Valkyrian. It speared through the Crown of Oblivion, splitting its massive hull like a cracked moon. Organic armor peeled open. Alien energy bled into space. The entire dreadnought convulsed as if caught in the jaws of a cosmic beast. The Exir Emperor's voice filled the comms, warping with static. "Human, you wield a weapon forbidden even by our ancient laws. You doom yourself." Cade smirked. "Good, I like company." The dreadnought exploded in a chain reaction of biofusion cores. The blast wave rippled across the battlefield, hurling ships into tumbling chaos. Dozens of Exir vessels detonated as their link to the Emperor collapsed. But the victory came with a price. The Starbreaker's recoil struck the Valkyrian. Systems flickered. Hull plating tore off. Gravity alarms screamed as the singularity began collapsing inward, toward them. "Cade," Lyra said softly, "the drive has destabilized. We cannot escape." He wiped the blood from his brow. "Divert reactor power. All of it. That will overload." "Do it." The ship lurched as Lyra obeyed. The engines roared at full burn, shoving the Valkyrian forward. Just as the collapsing singularity imploded behind them, space folded violently. A shockwave slammed them across the crimson.